Okay, so this is going to be another day of me going around in 76, just doing a few things. There's usually not that much to see with this, honestly. We've got, what have we got over there? A low level over there, probably AFK. Another guy who's 93 over there. I wonder where the other guy, the other really low guy went. There was two of them down in Flatwoods, right before I started up the stream. There's a possibility they crashed. There's a possibility they had to get off for life reasons like work or sleep or whatever. There's a level 49, I think. Yeah, 49. That's pretty low too. Level 27 there. There are quite a few people on today who are quite low down there. So yeah, that's going on right now. I'm just gonna send out the link to a few people who I know don't get the notification for the streams, because I know not everybody does. I'm streaming quite early today. Early for US-based viewers. That's lovely. That's lovely there. Yeah, that's just lovely. Sometimes stuff happens. Sometimes stuff happens. That's all I'm gonna say. Sometimes stuff happens. Just gonna share out the link to a few more people. Let me just bounce a little there. I wonder if Bethesda's suggestion got taken down again. Yep. You suggest something, and they're like, hey, you haven't done something. So yeah, you haven't done something, but I'm not going to tell you you haven't done something. I'm just going to assume that you know. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to reach out to somebody who I haven't reached out to in a while with that bit. Okay. I think I've got everybody I usually miss. I think. Can't really get absolutely everybody, but I try to get as many people as I can with it. I recently was in a little clip by Hasnot again. that was funny. There's a lot more to it than that little clip indicates, which is largely hinted at actually during the clip, funnily enough. You can tell by what's being said. But, I'm going to give some context to that while I'm just patrolling around doing the usual Brotherhood-related stuff of find this item, secure it, destroy it, whatever. Like, locate this dangerous artifact, retrieve it, dispose of it safely. That sort of thing. So, there was an altercation the other day over my survival tent. So, this is my survival tent, as you can see. This place down at the minute. But basically, what happened is, I put my tent down briefly. Standing around, you know, doing some stuff on my Discord and whatnot, so I was AFK. I put it down when somebody's game crashed or they logged out or whatever for a couple of minutes. They were part of this Enclave group, and we were like, okay, let's see if they try to make contact, because we noticed they'd come over. There was 2 of them, then 3, and so we're there wondering if they're going to make contact. Long and short is, one of their guys decided to fire at us. I was curious as to if they could PvP or not, if we'd have a, you know, friendly bit of PvP. We did have a bit of a fight. I was using a laser carbine, the V63 laser carbine. There was 5 of them. Eventually, I was the only one fighting these 5 guys. They ended up calling in a stacker and a guy who was getting team healed, so they called in like professional PvPers of their group. That I found was kind of funny. I reached out to a guy I met through Haz. He came in. At the end of it, the guy who started it apologized for starting it. And then somebody tried to nuke my base twice and failed, because the nukes don't work where I have my camp. So that was pretty interesting. I should have streamed it. I should have got it on stream. I didn't. But initially we thought there was 2 stackers. There weren't. There was only 1. But yeah, that was quite interesting. You don't get that every day. You don't get friendly PvP like that where somebody's like, oh, I want to test out PvP because I've not ever done it. And then they pick a fight. And then they get their butts kicked with non-PvP gear like that. Eventually, of course, you know, as things progressed, I cracked out my PvP T51 because they were using... One of them was using a Holy Fire, the other was using a BoS minigun, so I just cracked it out just to give them, like, a taste of it, a proper taste of it. They got farmed. I mean, why else would you call them professional PvPers, including a stacker, if you're not getting your butt kicked? I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, 5 versus 1, and that happened. But yeah, the long and short of it is, you know, there was no hard feelings. What happened, happened. We had a decent conversation at the end of it. The dude who started it apologized. We explained, you know, ourselves and our actions. They explained theirs. It is what it is. It was actually a fun fight until the dude showed up with his stacked PA. Then it just was like, what the heck, man? You ruined a good bit of fun. And all that over the placement of my survival tent. What could have been resolved with, could you please move your survival tent? Oh man, there's some really funny instances of that. It's like, oh, your camp is obstructed. Well, you've got more than one. If you really want to use that particular camp, then, you know, just change server. I have to do it all the time. If I want to use my main camp, I have to change server. I can't just stay in that server if it's obstructed. And usually I will. Usually I'll just straight away change server. That's just how I do it. Put me in here. Give me that artifact. Ammunition. Don't really want frag grenades. Fragmentation grenades are annoying in this game. Grenades in this game in general, I feel, don't do enough damage. Even with the right perk cards on, I just feel like they don't do enough damage. It's like Fat Man shells. Excuse me. This is one of those things as well with 76 that a lot of people don't show, is the quieter side of it. They mostly stream when they've got a PvP match going on or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, like, a lot of the time it's just going around, gathering resources, doing daily ops, doing expeditions. It's not all PvP. Like, a lot of people think, oh well, there's a lot of PvP in this game. I like player versus player, you know, I'll get the game. There's a lot more to it than that. Like, there's videos where people just PvP, but they don't show you their build. They don't show you their rolls on their weapons. Give me that artifact. They don't show you the rolls on their armor. Like, their legendary rolls, for clarification on what I mean. They don't show any of the stuff it takes to PvP. They also don't show, you know, when there's a stacker or anything. It's just one of those things. It's the age-old, don't believe everything you see on the internet. Give me that. Let's go out this way. There's usually some mole rats lurking around here. Not always, but usually. Hello. Yeah, so, so to clarify, like, for those asking questions, my group never truly disbanded. Like, we were going to fully disband, but some of the members didn't want to stop doing Brotherhood stuff. We tried Enclave for a bit, the majority of us, but, like, enough of us were still over here to keep the group together. When our idea of what we wanted to do with the Enclave group that we made didn't work because we wanted it to be an actual... Give me that. We wanted it to be an actual democratic enclave. When we couldn't make it work like that, we disbanded it. We had a good run with it. We didn't want it to be like all the majority of other enclave groups that we'd seen. So ultimately, we just went back to doing Brotherhood stuff. It's just easier, honestly. Like, a lot of what we were doing events and stuff-wise as Enclave was largely the same as what we were doing as Brotherhood anyway. Like, go here, terminate the super mutants, go there, terminate the Scorched, deal with the ferals, la 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 la. It was a lot of the same, just minus retrieving dangerous pre-war tech. A lot of people also, like, have a lot of misconceptions about the Brotherhood of Steel. Like, each individual chapter is different. So you've got, like with Fallout 3, Elder Lions, and then there's the Outcasts, who are more traditional. Elder Lions was helping people at the cost of his men. Then you have the Fallout New Vegas Brotherhood of Steel, where they're so set in their traditionalist, isolationist ways that it does damage. there was a lot going on. I do remember you. I just don't really have contact with you that much. I saw you in a server the other day, by the way. I saw you in a session the other day. But yeah. It was quite interesting. But like there's a lot of differences between Brotherhood group to Brotherhood group. It's the same with Enclave groups, right? There's the Oil Rig Enclave, then there's the Raven Rock Enclave, then there's the Remnant Enclave. Like, I would like to see an Enclave style that's not completely genocidally batshit insane. Pardon my language. You know? I'd like to see one form of the Enclave where they're actually trying to restore the government to how it used to be. And not doing the whole it's our way or the highway. You know, it's you do what you're told or you're terminated. Yeah, I do remember you. I do remember you. You're a name that's not going to be forgotten anytime soon. Inferno. But yeah. Where's that stupid Protectron that was just screaming obscenities? There it is. Goodbye. Goodbye. See that? Reload this. No, I want to put my tent down. Why on earth? I don't even remember where I picked that up. It was probably when I was taking everything from the defeated enemies just then. Yeah, no. Some of the more interesting moments were definitely a year ago, 2 years ago. Like, that was definitely some of the more interesting times. Albeit not exactly the most enjoyable for me and my group, but, you know, what can you do?
Scorch to the ferals don't get you. Rads will.
Actually, I think I missed somebody when I was sending out invites to the stream. Whoopsie daisy. But yeah, there was quite a lot going on back then. There's not as much going on now as there was back then. It's one of those things. I actually still run into quite a bit of PvP on occasion, but I'm gonna be real. The vast majority of it now is either BWB, who are questionable. Like, I've seen stackers in that group. I've seen just plain griefers in that group. And then there's the random ones, and then there's the obvious power armor stackers. But there are still people who will PvP, it's just nowhere near what it once was. PvP has been on the decline in this game though for a while. What do we have here? am not gonna even defend that group of individuals. I don't like them either. I don't like them because, again, I've met quite a few of them who are just jerks. And I'm not saying it's everybody in that group. But I've met a good few of them who are just jerks. Hey, look, there's cats up here. Watch it run. Yeah, there it goes. Oh man, I really don't like these floating camps like this. It's like, yeah, you built it on the floor, but you got it floating. Personally, I like, if I'm building a camp that's not a flying camp, I want it all on the ground. That's just me. Stop a minute and check the comments. How are you still doing that? How are you still doing that? Yeah, I mean, Blackwater Bandits, in my honest opinion, they are just largely a group of jackwagons. There's quite a few of them in there that I don't like. There's a guy who literally left my group to start drama with me, joined BWB, got BWB to grief my camp because I wasn't gonna give him PvP. Eventually I gave him what he wanted. He's changed his name again. Like, he's changed his name so many times since. But there's a lot going on over there that, honestly, I've just realised I forgot to invite my admin to the... Whoopsie-daisy. Done it again. I do this. I start a stream and forget to invite somebody to it, and I've just realised who I forgot is my moderator for the chat. So I'm moderating the chat myself, and I've just realised, whoopsie-daisy, I forgot to invite him. Oh dear. You make everyone mad in Blackwater. Yeah. I make everybody still mad who's in Enclave groups for some reason. I just wear Brotherhood gear and they get mad at me. It's like, what? Like, I can wear Enclave gear and I'll still make somebody who's Enclave mad at me, even if I do Enclave stuff. It's like, what? Where's your brain at? I always find it funny, though, when I manage to kill people who are PvPers. Because I'm not really a PvPer. I haven't ever really been a PvPer since the old Strangler got nerfed and the legacies got took out. I largely, like, gave up with all the power armor stackers and stuff around. Like, it wasn't worth it. That doesn't look dead enough. But yeah, there was a lot of... Well, that happened. There was a lot of things that have happened, like... But honestly, I find it really funny when I can be in, say, my non-PvP set of power armor and I can wipe the floor with somebody. I actually find that hilarious. Like, if you're dying to me and I'm not in PvP gear, just stop PvPing at that point. Just stop. You're clearly not built for it. And that's my honest advice. If somebody who's a PvE player like me can kill you and you're a PvPer, there is something very wrong with your build and you should stop PvPing and reevaluate what the heck you're doing wrong. Because you're clearly doing something wrong. Somebody keeps leaving and joining the stream. Hello. How you doing? Now, I'm hearing a lot of rumours lately that stackers are not going to be able to do that for much longer, but I've been hearing that for a bit. So we'll see. I'm going to be real though, like if you've got a stack, if you've got a power armor stack, to win in PvP, you have no skill and you shouldn't be doing PvP because you're trash. That's my honest opinion. And I know there's going to be people who are PvPers who stack who are going to be like, oh, you're just mad because you can't win. But then when you take off your power armor and you fight fair, you get your butt kicked by someone like me who's a PvE player. And then you look like the joke you are because you ran your mouth and then couldn't back it up. And then you cry and you hoot and holler and you rage and it's just funny. Now, do I upload it when I do that to people? No. Have I done that to people? Probably. Do I make people mad just by existing? For some reason. Shit happens. Pardon my language. Garbage can. My opinion of radar armor is not going to improve. I personally, believe it looks like a bin. I mean, tell me I'm wrong, it resembles a bin. The way they've made it to try to look intimidating, it just doesn't. It just resembles more of a bin. Give me that. Let me just dispose of that real quick. Yeah, no, it is normal, and it shouldn't be. But to go back to what I was saying a few minutes back, you know, you've got a lot of people who don't properly understand the groups in Fallout. There are people who don't fully understand the Enclave are the bad guys because they're, you know, trying to fix the world the easy way by literally wiping out anything and everything that isn't them. Then there's Vault-Tec, who are just greedy, rampant corporate idiots who don't care about consequence. They just care about profit and control. And to quote the TV show, management. Society doesn't need corporate level management to work. Society needs freedom, democracy, the right to free speech, the right to assemble, the right to protest. Society doesn't need mega corporations dictating how to live life. This isn't cyberpunk. And we don't want it to be cyberpunk. That would stink. That would stink worse than a feral. Or a zombie. Or both. Or a large pile of guano. But, like, here's my question, right? Here's my question real fast on BWB, right? They say that on top of what? What are you on top of? There ain't no KD bar in the game. There's no PvP leaderboard. What are you on top of? A pile of people who've never touched grass? Like, seriously. Actually, give me that while I'm here. I don't usually play in first person, so I might miss stuff while doing this. I like to play in third, but sometimes I will slip into first. Give me that. A lot of people say that, but if you actually check the hashtag BWB on top. They have actually been claiming that for quite a while. So that's why I was bringing that up. But to go back to the topic of people not understanding factions, like, a lot of the time people just assume, oh, well, the Brotherhood, by majority, collects and hoards military-grade pre-war technology. You know, things like power armor, laser weapons, plasma weapons, you know, the stuff that is extremely dangerous. Even Fat Man ordnance, like mini nukes, Fat Man launchers, that kind of thing. People don't like the fact that the Brotherhood of Steel is doing that. But then, I'm going to point to the TV show again. Look at what happened to Shady Sands when the Brotherhood of Steel wasn't there to confiscate the dangerous pre-war tech. Look at what Vault-Tec was able to do because the Brotherhood of Steel wasn't there to confiscate and guard that technology against, well, people like Vault-Tec. It's groups like the Institute and Vault-Tec and Robert House that I use to justify the Brotherhood of Steel's stance on technology. The Brotherhood of Steel has, for the duration of its existence, put a lot of emphasis on preventing what little is left of civilization and mankind being wiped away. From the founder Roger Maxson all the way up to Fallout 4's Arthur Maxson, the Brotherhood of Steel has largely sought to preserve the knowledge and technology of what came before to prevent what little is left of mankind being washed away by stupid people like Vault-Tec. But people don't see the big picture. People don't look at the long-term ramifications of what can go wrong. People who support the Enclave, I will use them as an example, there's a lot of them that I have met who I've had the intellectual discussion with. And I've said, like, long term, how are you going to ensure genetic diversity for the human race to continue? And they can't answer the question because they haven't put that much thought into it. They just see, oh, well, the Enclave wants to restore America, they want to get rid of all the super mutants and other mutant problems of the Fallout Wasteland. I want to side with them, but then they don't ask themselves, well, what next? That's the problem. If you don't ask what next, you're not going to know. You're not going to know. You need to ask yourself the question, well, what next? There's a guy below me. No idea what he's doing. I don't want to go over to Charleston. It'll crash my game. It always does. Let's go over to Vault 76. But this is one of the things, like, the Brotherhood of Steel may not always directly assist the people of the Wasteland, but they do indirectly help to keep, again, groups like Vault-Tec from blowing up settlements with nuclear weapons. You know, or to stop groups like the Gunners or Talon Company from having power armor, aircraft, and an unfair advantage against the average person of the Wasteland. There are pros and cons to every stance, but I honestly gravitate more to the Brotherhood because I believe they're morally less evil than the majority of other groups. That, and I mean, if you understand how medieval knights worked after the fall of Rome, you'd also understand what the Brotherhood is trying to emulate. I don't really need cloth, but I'll take it anyway. I'm just going to pause and put the map up while I check this. See you later, dude. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, a lot of people don't question the long-term goals of a group in Fallout. They don't ask the big questions. And it happens in real life a lot too, where people will sign a contract but not read the small print. You'll accept terms of service without reading the fine small print. People do it all the time. And, you know, I love the fact that I will read that stuff, because I can then go, hey, you might not want to be doing that. That can get you banned off this game, because it's against their terms and conditions. It's one of those things. There's a lot of things that people just rush through or take for granted, or they don't look at the big picture. It's like a debate between two people. You hear one person accuse the other, and both sides have valid points, right? And both sides may have evidence, one side may not. The question is, who has the evidence, and is that evidence genuine? Is it recent? Is it old? I was actually involved in one of those recently. I mentioned it very briefly, about the issue with Nick's Wraith and VEF. But one side was transparent with me and giving me up-to-date information. They gave me access to their Discord. And then VEF was like, yeah, well, this, that, and the third. And it was like, I'm trying to mediate so both sides can play the game and not have to constantly worry about getting, you know, their bases nuked or PvP started over this, that, or the other. And it's one of those things that I've noticed is it happens far too often, where people will take one side of the story, or they'll take one side's evidence and not the other. To give another example of stupidity, you know, in this kind of thing, is when, and I'm gonna take a dump on the legal system here real fast, the IRL legal system. When a dad who has no criminal record, no substance abuse, nothing, loses custody to a woman who is alcoholic of their kids, or she's on a controlled substance that she shouldn't be on. You know, she's high as a kite, stoned off her god. And somehow, she gets custody of the kids, and he doesn't. It's stupid, it shouldn't happen, but there you go. And there's probably going to be somebody who's going to virtue signal and be like, oh, you're propping up the patriarchy, but am I really? Look at the statistics, look at the evidence. Am I really, or am I just stating that equality should be upheld for everyone across the board, as, you know, it's defined in the dictionary and not in La La Land? Like, we all say we want to get along, we want to play the game and have fun, but then there's people that just won't let you do that. Because, oh, well, I want PvP, and I've heard XYZ about you. It's like, what? I'm sorry, what? You've heard, you've not experienced. You have an issue with somebody who you've never met, who you've only heard things about, and you've got no evidence besides videos that could be faked or 4 years old or whatever. They might not even be from this year, let alone this week. Yeah. Yeah. That happens way too often. Another thing that implies stupidity, and I'm gonna point the finger again, is when there's a group, BWB, I'm gonna use as an example, that shows only when they're getting kills, but not ever when they're getting killed in game. It's like you're PvPing, and you're only showing your side to make you look better for your fake following friends who don't know you in real life, who don't care, because you want to look cool in your little friends group. Congrats, bro. Congrats. It happens way too often. It happens way too often. Is that a UFO camp? It is. It is. It's a very low one. It's a shame it's this low. These are decent camps. I actually really like it though when someone actually puts it, you know, in flight. Like when they get it way up in the air. Like these camps are always interesting to find. I don't find them that often anymore, but they're always interesting to come across. But I gotta be real, like you should get it higher up. You should use methods to get it so that it's higher up off the ground. There are ways to do it. I'm not gonna say how to do it on stream, and I'm not gonna show how to do it on stream, because I know what Bethesda is like. Even though it's completely harmless, I know what Bethesda is like about flying camps that are really high up, even though they're cool. Again, an example of stupidity. Oh, it doesn't break the game, but we don't like it. Boo-hoo. It's cool. Leave it alone. It's not like it's causing server instability or anything. It's not like it's giving an unfair advantage, like power armor stacking, but, you know. Again, it's one of those things. No, not really. Like, yeah, you'll be able to soon build flying camps, like with foundations off the ground as well. But you're not really gonna be able to get it really high up without glitches. And what I mean by that is, like, double the camp height up. I've done that a few times, actually. I had a flying camp quite recently that was above Camp Venture. The only way you can do that is by a glitch to get the camp device to place down in the sky. It's harmless, it doesn't affect anything, it doesn't cause server stability problems. It's just a minor, harmless little glitch that does absolutely nothing beyond what it says on the tin. And it's quite cool. Like, you can actually get your UFO camps above places like the Charleston Capitol building, or above, say, Poseidon Energy, or above Spruce Knob at Foundation, as it's now called, or above the White Spring. I haven't seen a UFO base above the White Spring in a while. You used to see them quite a lot. But there's a lot of that nowadays where you don't see camps like that anymore. You can thank the Enclave Armed Forces, mass reporting people, for that. Yeah, I'm aware of the PTS. That's what I was hinting at. But you know, there's a lot going on over there. But again, you know, this is a stream showing, once again, that 76 isn't always PvP. There's quite a lot of times where you're just walking around and there's no conflict whatsoever. That does actually happen, believe it or not. These abominations are nice and dealt with. There it is. There it goes. It's one of those things, again, you know. Like, people are saying this game is stale. And the real reason it's stale, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the real reason it's stale is Bethesda puts a lot of effort into things like the Atomic Shop, or events that are old and nobody really cares about. Oh, you know, they'll do things like expeditions, or they'll do things like daily ops. And I'll point out the problem with all of these, that they all have in common, is they have a set loot pool that gives you what you already have learned. And they always do it. And that's why the game is stale, because nobody wants to play a daily op, or do an expedition, or an event where they have all the rewards. Because what's the point? Why grind out an event, besides for the season challenge, if you've got all the rewards? And the seasons, like, let me just show this. Like, this season, in my opinion, is utter garbage. It's one of the worst ones yet, in my honest opinion. The only good thing that I find redeemable is this. Like, literally. I don't see the point of any of the rest of it. Like, that might be good for some camp builders. I know that for a fact, you know, there's gonna be that. There's, again, the decorative records. A few other decorative bits and bobs for camps. But mostly it's garbage. Like, what's the point of it? You make seasons and mini-seasons where it's just, what's the point? What's the actual flipping point of it? The boat tent is good. Is it? I haven't really seen it down. Is it actually good? Or are you just saying that? I don't want to go into the Atomic Shop right now. Let me actually inspect this. Okay. The perk card machine. So it comes with a scrap box, an ammo box, a perk card machine, a tinker's bench, and no doubt a stash. Okay, that's not that bad. But again, like, you know, it's one of those. It's like, what? Fair enough. It's like, what's the point of it? Like, it's nice that we're also getting, you know, potentially a map expansion coming up soon enough. There's a low level. Hello. They probably have no idea how to do anything. Yeah, they did that run into it. I used to do that. I used to get stuck on rocks and stuff. Still do occasionally, it's annoying.
Too far to get turned down now.
Should I report directly to you now?
Damn. Just when I was getting confused.
Dang it. But like trees like this, the rocks, there's some rocks that won't despawn, there's some bushes that won't despawn, there's the massive trees like this that you can't get rid of when you put your camp down or your tent. And we've been asking for ages to get that altered. Another thing I'm going to say is, if honestly, I'm in the opinion of, if a camp wants to spawn, the survival tent should be despawned. That's just my opinion of it. I know not everyone's going to agree with me on that, because why would they? You know, this is the age of the internet. Why would anybody agree with something like, oh, let's have it where the survival tent is despawned when somebody wants to, you know, have their camp. Sorry, Fido. It's me or you. But this is one of those things, like, a lot of people don't really see this side of 76, where it's walking around or fast traveling and there's not a lot of PvP. Now, what I've seen in the PTS, from the few videos and screenshots that I've seen, we're getting activity towards Ohio. I'm actually looking forward to that. I hope there's a good map expansion that goes that way. It'd be really nice. I'd also like to see like another map. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but like I would personally love to see an actual map of the capital wasteland at the time of 76. Even if they had to say put it in another server, so say you have the standard adventure map server, and then you have the DC adventure map server. You could even do California if you really wanted to this early on, have it where, you know, you meet Roger Maxson and the main Brotherhood of Steel. Like, there's a lot of ways you could make it work, especially with that, that vertibird that the responders, the new responders have with the ultrasight batteries. Like, they can go pretty far. I mean, they made it to the pit and to Atlantic City. That's quite a decent bit of distance if you had enough. Get lost, heretic. If you had enough ultrasight batteries, you could go across country very easily with those things. Very, very easily. But again, it's one of those things, you know. Bethesda listens mostly to Reddit, apparently. Where is it? Go. Hey, the rad roach. How you doing, Andy? But again, you know, it's one of those things. Like, a lot of people seem to not really feel heard or feel like the game is going to be like a lot of PvP when it's not. Like, I'm going to be real, there's some events like Flashnacht where recently a bunch of new masks have been data mined, but again, like, what's the point? Like, oh yeah, there's a couple of new masks, but what's the point? You're still gonna get a bunch of stuff from that event that you already have that you don't want more of. So what's the point? You're not cycling it out. That's another thing, is the Skyline Valley caravans are bugged. That's a pain.
Sore all over. Oh, building this place up is hard work.
These settlers are annoying as well. Oh, building this place up is hard work. Well, you're not the one who dealt with the Scorch Plague, made a vaccine for the Scorch Plague, then had to run around and deal with the raiders over in Crater, the people in Foundation, all to get everybody vaccinated. You're not the one who did all the hard work. You're just putting up a few boards on the house, or patching over the windows with boards, or, you know, patching over a hole in the wall with boards. You're not really doing that much compared to the stuff that we've done as the player. And yet you're complaining that it's hard putting up a piece of wood. A piece of wood that you will Fallout 4 style hammer repeatedly for no other reason than you're programmed to. You don't get any update to do anything else. Where's that third one that's usually loitering about? There it is. Goodbye. Okay, so they're up there. You know, some of the stuff that I don't understand that's still in the game from, like, the very early days is the food and water bar. Like, why is that even still in the game? What's the point of having survival syringes and food and water bars when you took out the survival mechanics? I remember when people had to actually, you know, have food, have water, and manage that stuff, and now they don't. And that's a disappointment. I personally think they should bring that stuff back. But hey, that's just me. That's just my opinion. Either that or get rid of the food and drink bar. Because again, what's the point of it? I'm going to stop a minute and check the comments again. Let's see what's going on. So we've got a level 273 over at a level 27's base. Well, the weather's nice for going out on a bike ride, especially on a motorcycle. One of the biggest pains about this game is its crashing, because it crashes at complete random. Like, it crashes at complete random. Here we go again. Did you just take a... and then turn around and deal with something else? Rogue AI again. Another day in the Brotherhood of Steel patrolling West Virginia. And wondering just what the heck is coming next. On the topic though of bashing Bethesda for a lack of stuff. Like, here's another way to bash Bethesda over the head is the Enclave, right, they have military ranks and so on and so forth. They've got all these armor paints. They're like marine armor, combat armor, scout armor. But yeah, they've not got any rank insignias on anything. not on power armor, not on combat armor, not on marine armor, nothing. Then there's the fact that, you know, the Brotherhood of Steel exists. And now the Enclave has specific paints that go on pretty much everything, even the new Vulcan armor, right? But the best we've got that does that is Vertigard. And that's just the power armor. That's not talking about, you know, Brotherhood Recon armor or Marine armor, which don't have paints. I mean, Recon armor has, at best, the... Let me show it. Has this at best. The Alaskan winter paint. That still has the Brotherhood logo. But then we have the same problem of our outfits. Our outfits and our armor, besides our power armor, don't have rank insignias. So, power armor units in the Brotherhood, we have, you know, Knight Sergeant, Knight Captain, Paladin, and so on our power armor. But most of them are on the T60. There's only 2 of those, Knight and Paladin, on the T51B. Which is annoying if, like me, you styled your guild, as Bethesda calls it, after the West Coast Brotherhood of Steel. Because you know that at this time, in the timeline, in the canon, as far as has been explained, that the Brotherhood of Steel on the West Coast is using the T51 series, not the T60 series. And you can't really do an accurate, full-blown guild representation of that when you don't have those paints. And it's the same blimmin' problem, you know. It's one of those.
You have been selected to be composted.
Hey, Exy, how you doing? But, like, again, this is one of the things that Enclave fans will agree on. We, like the Enclave fans, have uniforms, right? We the Enclave recently got fatigues, right? But their fatigues, like our fatigues, have no rank insignia. The only outfit that the Brotherhood has that has a rank insignia is the Brotherhood civvies that has the logo of the Paladins on the shoulder. Even the Elder's battle coat doesn't have that. I mean, the name implies who it should be worn by, but it's the same as the Enclave officer uniform, right? The Enclave officer uniform you get when you get the rank of General and you can go upstairs. It's clear that that is supposed to be the General's uniform. And the gold variant is no different. Now you've got the Intel officer, theirs is somewhat different. Again though, it's meant for intelligence. They don't have any fatigues with ranks. They don't have any armor with ranks, not even power armor. They don't have any of that. The Brotherhood of Steel, at least, we have it on T60, for the most part, that covers every rank. And, you know, Knight and Paladin are on the T51. The Enclave doesn't even have that for their XO1s. Like, this is ridiculous. And that's not even getting into all of the cut content for the Enclave, like the presidential power suit that still hasn't been added. Though there was a harmless bug that allowed you to get the suit, and the suit is glitchy as hell. How do I know? Because I own one. Well, I actually own 2, but that's besides the point. I have it. It is buggy as all hell. And, you know, that suit is meant to be worn by the president. So if you run an Enclave guild, like some of the people I know, your president should be wearing that suit. Your general should be wearing the officer suit, or your colonel if you want to be generous and have the general wearing gold. That's how my Enclave did it. But you've still got the problem, right, of there's no designated colonel outfit. There's no dedicated outfit for any of the other ranks, like, you know, sergeant, captain, etc., etc. There's no rank icons or any of that. And it's irritating. And that's not even getting started on the cut brown house bunker down in the Shenandoah. Like, here's another thing, right? Here's another thing. Like, in the military, and this is something that I have learned from talking to people who have been in the service, and I say this with great emphasis. I know people who have served fucking God and country, or for Constitution, President, Congress, country, blah, 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 blah. They've gone into the army for whatever reason, under whatever their people say about it, right? They've gone in and they've told me things like, oh, well, you can put notches on your guns, you can put decals on your helmets. You can't do none of that in 76, regardless of Enclave or Brotherhood. You can't put that kind of thing on your gear. You can't personalize your gear like that. I can't go around with, say, my Elder paint on my T60, which I do have, and I will show it here, right? I can't go around with this and customize my helmet up here to have, say, a Brotherhood logo on the side of my head helmet, on, say, the left-hand side, or have tallies up my right arm for how many Scorch Beasts or whatever I want them to represent, for targets, neutralized, for threats, terminated. I can't do it. It's the same with my armor. Like, I can't put tallies on here. I can't put decals on it. I can't, you know, customize this and have another Brotherhood decal, say, on the back plate here. On either of the shoulder, on either of the left or the right or the center of the back plate. So that I don't have to wear this backpack. I can't put any like customization to really anything beyond my Pip-Boy skin, or my backpack skin, or the flares. That's it. That's it. Like, I can't customize decals to outfits, be they faction logos, like Brotherhood, Enclave, Free States. You can't do that. They don't give you the means to do that, and they can and could, but they don't. I'd love to have a cape. Like, there's so many things that Bethesda could do with this game that they just won't do. I need that hot plate, I need the copper. But there are so many things that they just won't do. That they could do. Like, you could implement the guild system that you were talking about, Bethesda, right? And people would love it. And you could even make it where, you know, you have set logos to choose from for whatever faction. But you can allow the players, you know, like, to customize the colors on the logo. Like, so say, for example, you want an Enclave logo that is red. Say you want it to be red, white, and blue. So you want the stars white, but the E to be, say, blue and red. Okay, let people do that. You could let people, you know, do quite a bit. And even have, you know, a banner that has your guild logo on it. So a guild flag, a guild medallion. You know, you could do a lot of things like that they're, you know, the guild's name, say, on the banner. Say you make your guild, you name it, say, Raven Rock Enclave. So then on your logo, it's got your logo, say it's got your red, white, and blue Enclave done logo. Say you do the stars in alternating red and white, and the E is blue. And then on the banner, you've got whatever colour you set the banner to, be it black, white, whatever. You've got your factions, your custom guild's faction emblem, and then underneath it says Raven Rock Enclave. So everybody knows whose guild that is, what guild that person's a part of. Or you go the easy route and just have it where, you know, you let people put letters on. I mean, you're running a risk there. Because everybody knows what people do when they have the ability to customize anything beyond a set of very specific parameters. Looking at Call of Duty with all the inappropriate flags of World War II. I mean, the Enclave officer uniform, in its default, is blue. But again, you know, it's not like dress blues. Like, there's a lot of things that they really could have and should have done differently. There's a lot of things that they should add and could add but won't add. Guilds is, in my opinion, one of the things that we actually need, but I doubt will actually ever get added to the game. It's just one of those things. Would it be awesome? Oh yeah. But then you've got, you know, you've got to have either a limit to what players can do in terms of guild emblem, guild flag, or you've got to have a set of devs constantly checking to make sure nobody's uploaded or made an emblem that is, again, World War II oriented or political, even though there's a lot of, in my opinion, political stuff in the game, such as, and I'm going to call this political, such as the pride flags, and I am calling them political. I'm not the first person to do that. And the reason I'm calling it political is because of the gender ideology stuff that certain members of that community, and I do say certain members because it's not all of them, but certain members of that community are trying to push in schools on children. That is not acceptable. That is not okay. Stop doing that. It's like trying to impose religion on people in school. It's not okay, and you shouldn't do it. There is a time and a place to discuss things like that. But like, hear me out, right? Again, to come back to the pride flags thing. I'm not trying to crap all over their parade, but they have become very political as of late. It's so politicized as a movement now that the police over here in the United Kingdom, the police are no longer allowed to partake in the pride events, in pride parades and stuff like that. They can't, you know, paint rainbow flags on themselves or on their cars or anything to show support for pride because of how politicized pride has become because of certain members in the movement. It's like modern feminism. Modern feminism is toxic, it's sexist against men, and it's hypocritical as all hell. And there are certain people in there that push that toxic feminist approach to feminism, who absolutely despise men for whatever reason they have, who seek to unalive every man on earth, who view men gaining custody of their children as proof of the patriarchy that they preach of, who say that men should be open with our feelings, but then the minute we are, find us repulsive, disgusting and weak and unattractive. There's no winning. There's no winning with people like that. Statistics, if you don't believe me, look at the statistics of how many women, I've touched on this very, very much earlier, how many women who have a criminal record, who have substance abuse like alcoholism, who, when they divorce, will gain full custody of the kids over the husband who is sober, who has not touched drink, who has no criminal record, who has a job when she's a homeless bum. Just because
men seem to be in a lot of positions of wealth and power in, say, business, doesn't mean we're not suffering in silence. Yeah, no, you're right there. You're absolutely right there. They are crazy on BS. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, I was literally watching a video before I came on and started playing the game, right? I was watching a video. And the video was told from a perspective that, get this, is shocking, right? It's one of the modern feminists whose beliefs were annihilated when they were in human resources, but they tried to get it to where men had the ability, you know, to be open about stresses and stuff, to, you know, help them to be able to process it so that they could be more long-term productive. What did the business do? Fired them. What did the women in the business do? Start going, oh, that made me so uncomfortable when the guy was being honest about his feelings. Like, we men are told as we grow up, and this is a fact, this is coming from a dude. I am a biological man. I was born with the pair between my legs, yeah? I was born that way. I am a male, I am a man. I'm a dude. Science says, if you're born with that, you're a dude. Get over it. Don't care about your appearance. Cry. Men don't cry. Men are not honest, because honesty and showing emotion is weak. Men have to be strong, firm, like machines. No, we don't. No, we don't. Because we're not machines. We're people. We're people. We're human beings. We have emotions. We feel. We get angry. We cry. We get hurt. But the world screams at us, you can't do that. You can't be that way. You have to be a rock. You have to be like this tree. Let me use this tree as a good example, right? You have to be like this tree. Tall, strong, unfeeling, just doing what you're meant to do. But we're people. We're human beings. We have feelings. It doesn't work like that. But this is again, people who, and it loops around to what I was talking about previously. It's people who are too dumb to understand reality or to see the big picture. Or both, in the case of certain people. It's a matter of they don't want to see the big picture. They only want to see their ideal, perfect world where everyone else is fucking miserable but them. Pardon my language. That's what they want. They want a world where everyone else is miserable but them and their fake friends. Let's be real. The minute things get hard for you, your friends are probably going to ditch you. Let's be real. I can count on one hand, maybe both hands, if I really push it. I can count on one hand guaranteed the true friends who I can be open with as a man, who I can cry with as a man, who I can vent my anger and frustration to as a man. And do you know what the irony is? They're all other men. None of them are women. There's not one woman besides probably my mother who I could do that with. And yet women are constantly saying, oh, men should be more open with their feelings, men should be feeling comfortable to cry to us. But then when we do, and there's examples of this, when we do, the woman becomes unattracted in us. They leave for another guy who they perceive to be what they want. We do what you ask, and you throw us away like rubbish to a bin. And then you wonder why male unaliving statistics are so damn high. But then you won't admit it. You won't admit that men are more likely to unalive than women. That when men try to unalive, we don't do it half-assed. No. We go all the way. If we decide to unalive, we're going lethal. We're going a way that can guarantee we ain't surviving this, Chief. We'll even go and join the army and charge at the enemy. And go out in a blaze of battle glory like the knights of yore and the soldiers of the empires of yesterday. We'll happily do that than cry and be emotionally open, because to be able to cry and be emotionally open in today's toxic, feminist, anti-male society is the equivalent of unaliving yourself. You may well have done that. It is the message we get, because we get destroyed socially. We get shamed, we lose promotions, we lose girlfriends, we lose jobs, we even lose friends over being emotional and being able to feel. We don't get the emotional rock that we need as men to keep being strong as a tree, to keep being steadfast. We don't get that. We just get, oh, your masculinity is toxic. Oh, I wish you'd be more open with your emotions. But when we do, we're destroyed for it. We're hit with a wrecking ball. We're dumped. We're destroyed. We're shamed. Childhood traumas get brought up and weaponized against us, for crying out loud. And for what? The answer is, there is no answer, because it's for nothing. It's just because we're born with something between our legs and a pair of dangles that are behind it. We're perceived as people who shouldn't cry. People who shouldn't be honest and open. And I, for one, don't adhere to it. I haven't adhered to it. Ask anyone who's encountered me in this game if I've blown up like a bottle rocket. Gone off like a firework when I get angry enough. Because the answer is, and I'll be honest, I have. Because unlike the majority of other men, I let you know how I'm feeling. Not always, granted. But push my buttons enough, and it's the same with anyone, you'll get a reaction eventually. Unless I just do what I do most times on this game, which is block you and move away from the area, and then block you on PlayStation, even block you on Steam. The point of the story is, right, we all get told, as men, a bunch of stupid stuff, and then when we tell them the solution, they don't do it, and it ties into games. It ties into games because there's a lot of people in games that do dumb stuff, and then cry when they get banned, or they're in a group and the group members are doing dumb stuff, and then they cry when they're getting PvP'd. Or their bases are getting griefed. Like, bro, like, I get it, they shouldn't be judging all of you the same, but if enough people in your group are being a bunch of buttheads, it's going to happen. You know, it's one of those things. And people are not going to like this stream because I voiced what a lot of men, and I do say this, men, as in males, as in guys, as in born biologically that way, scientifically a dude, biologically a dude, go through. It's like trans people in women's sports. Why are biological born men in women's sports claiming to be women? That's wrong. I'm on the topic of politics. I'm going off the deep end at this point because, fuck it, I'm on a rant. The point stands, right? You should not be in women's sports. There should be trans women's, trans men's sports. Trans women's, trans men's bathrooms. You shouldn't be in biological sex sports. You should not be in biological people's anything. Be with your own crowd. And I know people are not going to like that. But everybody says we want equality. Everybody says we want equality, but they never truly mean it. What's in there? I'll take that. You left it unlocked. And it's so damn frustrating. It's so damn frustrating. not fair. Men are told, oh, you're a man, you have privilege, you have power. No, we don't. What man do you know who doesn't work a 9 to 5, who hasn't worked a 9 to 5, who hasn't worked a day in his life and is rich? Because I can tell you, I know more guys that are dead-ass broke, that barely make the rent on a 9 to 5, and are constantly treated like utter garbage.
Whatever it takes. I knew the brother.
And don't even get me started on the whole argument of skin color. That's a whole other kind of crap that I'm not going to get into, because that's another nightmare. It's political division at its finest. Oh, you're born white. You have privilege. What? Check the statistics and tell me that again. Like with your face straight.
Not sure if I should be.
If you can, I'll give you 50 quid. Because again, it's a load of crap. People don't like their perceived perfect or true world being questioned. They don't like it, they can't stand it.
We have to cut ourselves.
People do not want to look at the big picture. That's the whole point of this little rant I've gone off on. People do not want to look at the big picture. They want their view of the wall nice and clean and tidy and how they want to see it. They don't want to see all the cracks, all the holes, all the plaster and paint coming off that wall. They want to see their perfect, pretty little mural, and that's it. That's the be-all and end-all of the world's problems. No one wants to admit the problems are there. It's the same in gaming. No one wants to admit that there are issues like stackers or exploiters who cheat. But they're there. We all know that they're there. And then there's always the people who justify it because they're in denial about the fact that they've got no skill. They've got no life, they don't go out and touch grass, they don't do nothing. The be-all and end-all of it is people like to not look at the big picture. They like to see things in tunnel vision and only see what they want to see when they want to see it. They don't like evidence to the contrary. They can't stand when somebody doesn't fit the perfectly shaped mold that they have for that person anymore because that person decided, I want to better myself. I want to say, go out and go to the gym, lose weight, gain some muscle. They don't like that. They don't like that. Because all of a sudden, that person is changing the image that the other person has of them, and that other person does not want them to do that because it challenges their worldview. It challenges their vision of that wall with that mural. And it's the same in games. There are guilds in games that refuse to acknowledge when another group changes for the better. Or they get jealous and they try to destroy it. Or they'll try to control narrative when confronted with something that doesn't line up, again, with that perfectly crafted, perfectly carefully created mural on the wall. When the tunnel vision of that doesn't stand up to scrutiny. It's like communism. It doesn't actually work. If you scrutinize it with a microscope, you will see it doesn't work. It sounds too good to be true, and it is too good to be true. Sorry, not sorry, somebody has to pop that bubble. I know there's some people come on this channel and they absolutely love it when I go off on a rant like this. They absolutely love it. There are some people that genuinely do that. And I know they exist. I know they exist. I know they're a thing. Holy cow.
I have 4 likes on this, holy cow. But like, this is the side of me that people don't get to see. This is me starting to touch politics. This is me starting to talk. This is me showing feelings, and holy cow. I'm glad I caught that on stream. I hope it's actually where I think it is. It might not be, it might just be on the coastline. No, it's on the coastline. Darn it! Like, there is clearly in the river, but it's not. It's actually here, but... Holy cow, that was cool for a moment. Like, I was hoping that they'd find a way to get it in the river. That they may have found a way across and out the map again. Nope. Oh well, I hoped for a moment, and my hope was promptly crushed. Pineapple. What's in here? Ooh. The Enclave ammo box, the Brotherhood stuff. I don't ever get when people do this. Why do you put a Enclave ammo storage where they Brotherhood stash box? It's like Enclave players when they use the Brotherhood medallion and put Enclave stuff on it. Why? Why? Just slap the letter E on the stars and stripes. Or do what I used to do. Do what I used to do. I had it when I had an Enclave group. Put an E up on a wall, and then put the star decorations on one on each side. Like on the Enclave fatigues. The Enclave fatigues has the E with a star, one on each side. Do that. Stop overcomplicating things. Here's the shelter. Is that glitch? No. I was going to say that glitched somewhere where I'm not supposed to go. No, it's not. It's just slipping through the wall. It's actually a nice house, to be honest. I like the fact that they put these glass doors on. It's the Mothman's home. Have one of those. With parlour doors, at least at the bathroom. Sounds quite nice.
I once had a gun that never jammed. Instead of selling it when I needed caps, I should have married it. We all have our regrets, and that's mine.
Oh no, it's one of those people I should have married an inanimate object. Oh no! Broken glass with glass in the window. Still don't understand how that works, but there you go. But there's the logic. Not a bug, it's a feature. Have these paintings. That was a good scoreboard actually. Is that an electric eel? No. Darn. And there I was hoping there was something interesting to fish. Nope. I really like that. Don't know why they put. Everybody has their reason for doing something like that. What's this over here? There's a vendor, but nothing in it. There's a vendor with plans. I might go check that in a minute. Just to see if I have anything. Well, if they have anything that I don't, or I have anything that I need to get from there. There's another vendor with nothing in it.
Sometimes I think about burning this camp down.
My camp's all the way up here. Chronos bunker, all the way up there. It's a lovely little spot. Fun part is, people try to nuke it and the nukes can't reach, so they just fail. The nukes literally just go no, and then fall short by miles. It would appear that the comment section is now quieted. Put a Union flag in there. That's good for scrap. Goodbye. That one was running in the wall. Honestly, some things don't surprise me anymore with Bethesda games. Including enemies running into the wall. It's funny until you've seen it one time too many. And I have definitely seen it one time too many. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Give me that. I didn't know I was carrying that many. I should have put some in the stash. Really got to start keeping better track of that. Give me that dangerous bit of tech. Give me that mod before a low level hurts themselves. No, that's just a normal steel one. Let's go on a journey. Go to West Virginia, they said. It'll be great, they said. Didn't tell me nothing about the giant fucking bats. Is there anything else with lead? Oh, but I will take that. Hop up. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Take all that apart. Take these apart as well. Go over this way. Let's open this. Let me in, damn it. No hallucinogen gas this time. Happens sometimes. Let's go over to the armory. Problem first. There it goes. Problem solved. Nope. I know that a lot of people are not going to be very entertained by me walking around, but it's part of the game. Did I actually just find technical data while going through this room?
Wouldn't be the first time that I have ironically found technical data in a Brotherhood building. I've done it in Fort Atlas, I've done it in Fort Defiance, and I've done it here on occasion too. It's not that common, but it does happen. Every now and then. Once again, off on a journey. Would have been nice had more of the guys been on 76 today. Could have streamed a patrol for you all to watch, but sadly, they're unavailable. Undo. Hold still, you mutant abomination. It is of the feral variety. I swear they've nerfed the amount of ammo you can salvage from things since that fix patch they did recently. There's a Mothman nest up there. Time to go pay them a little visit. Filthy heretics. If it was up to me, I'd wipe out all these false god-worshipping cultists, but sadly, the game devs don't let me do that. So, maybe the closest I can. Oh, got a minute. Blood eagle. Another raider. I'll see this every day. Too bad. You are so lucky that power on like this face. And that takes care of that. Now to retrieve some resources. The game's not bugging out like an annoying pest. Which it does far too often, I will add. I need that. Don't necessarily need the stem packs, but I'm going to take them anyway. Go back down here. Make sure I haven't left anything down here behind. Nope. Okay then. Back into the weird foggy nest I go. Manuka cranberry. Another terminated idiot. Okay. So that's another bunch of heretical idiots dealt with. There's a wind chime somewhere, but I can't find it.
I'm also not going to spend a lot of time trying to find it. Be here all day with some of them wind chimes. Whee. You only just woke up, Haz. Bloody hell, you missed my rant, bro. You missed me go off on a full-blown rant a few minutes back. It's nice to see you finally awake, though, but yeah, you missed it. You missed it. I took a sledgehammer to something that's been irking me for a bit. Yeah, I think one of my perks should stop working. Lovely. And that takes care of that. Pop. Yep. There goes. Hey, look! Tack. Yoink. I know there's going to be quite a few people who are like, why do you do that and then leave the chassis behind? Because the chassis has weight and I can't store it. Otherwise I just yoink the whole thing. Go back to Crater. Oh wait, you can't anymore. Whoops a daisy. It says you can roll away. Upstash. Nice. I'm surprised so far the game hasn't crashed. So far. This time yet. And endurance. Oh shoot! I just realised what I didn't check up for at the camp a minute ago. Guacamole sticks. Now I gotta go back to Camp Venture and check somewhere for bobbleheads. Pain in the butt. No. No. I took a sledgehammer to something else. Let's just say you have to watch the stream to see it. But, yeah, I'm not going to touch it again for a while. Because I know for a fact there's going to be a Karen who's going to be like, you can't say that. There's always a Karen. Especially because I am a man. And we all know you can't be born a man these days and not be automatically some kind of villain or pervert or whatever the toxic feminists want you to believe. If there's toxic masculinity, you can bet your backside there is toxic femininity too. Because there isn't one without the other. It's just not how the world works. Let me in. Did I miss anything when I was in here last time? Yeah, I missed that. And then I didn't come over here. Let's play this one again. I like this one. I like that one too.
Appalachia. Paladin Taggarty told me of your victory at Huntersville. I know it was costly, but future generations will thank you, as I am thanking you now. It makes me proud, but that's not why I'm calling.
Wish I had these chairs.
One of the Brotherhood's standing orders is being on the lookout for valuable technology.
Nice
Anything that
pristine
would help
blue
us in
chairs
our efforts.
instead of the green.
But as I look in every direction, I see chaos. The lights are out, and men have become little better than barbarians. Civilization. Civilization is something I think of every day. I know Lizzie is probably sick of the word by now.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
To rebuild that, to reclaim that, our successors are gonna need the secrets of the past. And those secrets are in danger of slipping through our fingers forever. So far, our scribes have been tools to help protect our knights and maintain our bases. That needs to change. Brotherhood is gonna be more than an armed fighting force. We're going to be the guardians of civilization. So we have to grab every schematic, every holotape, every book, every goddamn note that holds the building blocks of the old
Yeah, one of my perks seems to be working. The one that does damage after you stop shooting the opponent. Oh, you get back here.
One day when the time is right, that seed will grow, and a new civilization will be born. This is why we were born. Don't you see it? Helping your fellow man is a good goal, a soldier's goal. We will be the catalyst that changes the world. I'm sure you have questions. Paladin Taggarty is fully briefed. I have every faith in you, Appalachia. Elder Maxon, out.
But it all comes like I'm gonna bring this up again because it all links together. What I was saying in my rant, what I said a lot earlier in the stream. It all comes back together to people not wanting to fully understand groups in games and see the big picture. It all links around. It all links back around. Hello. It all links back around. It really does. I'm going to switch parties real quick. Give me a moment. If you can't see what I'm doing, that's why. Nope. That one. There we go. I always turn my own audio off so I can't hear myself because it's annoying. Captain Wren is over
Yeah, give me
there.
a sec. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I don't know if the stream can hear you.
Yeah, give me a sec. Come on, Onion, on your end?
Yeah, you need to really mute whatever you're playing the stream on.
Come on, Onion, on your end?
Because that's
Why do I
gonna
sound...
feedback.
I sound way older down the mic.
Yeah. We sound different over the mic than we do.
Low-key, I sound like a fucking... I sound like...
Language on PlayStation, you don't want them to report you.
Okay. I sound evil. Like... like that's an evil villain's voice.
I think that over stream we sound kind of weird.
For millennia, I have lived watching humanity.
No, it's the age-old Adeptus Mechanicus, bro. It's the from the moment I first realized the weakness.
The weakness of my flesh. I aspired to the purity of the machine.
Yeah.
Two Warhammer fans who were also Fallout fans. You don't get that every day.
I've dabbled in Warhammer. I thought it looks cool. I just can't find a game to play.
Oh, it is cool. I've loved
it's
it.
primarily on
The
PC.
few times I have played, I've loved it.
I think it's primarily on PC, you see.
No, it's not. There's
Is it not?
No. Space Marine 2.
Oh, so
Bolt
it's not
gun.
called Warhammer.
No, they are called Warhammer.
Ah, I'll have a look at playing that then.
Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Sorting out my gear.
Fair enough.
Thinking of changing out my power armor.
Going for Outcast T51 or?
No, I took that off of the PvP armor. That was still funny the other day.
Alright, well I'm going to go to the White Spring and purchase some Radaway, because I've still got my raid mutations on. I've been using Radaway to suppress it ever since, because I ran out of
I still find it surprising that you have to use mutations to do raids where I don't.
Specifically the drill.
Oh yeah, no.
That's
so,
the only
to still have you laughing, I think I told you this last time, I'm going to say it on stream. I have combat armor, right, that is specifically made to increase my agility in the raids. And I haven't been using it.
Ultralight full agility set.
It's only on the legs, I think. Hold on, let me actually look. Yeah, so they're all agility, and the legs are reduced. Reduced sprinting cost.
Alright.
But yeah, they're all agility pieces. Really good that for using in the raid. Really good. Actually, you know what? I am going to use the T60.
Well, I've officially hit 10,000 caps. I've cleared the vendors out.
I'm doing decent this afternoon, Prime. I'm doing decent. I've got to occasionally refresh my stream on my end to make sure that things are working. Pain. That's why using the phone is such a pain. I said it earlier in stream that I occasionally still get stuck on rocks. It just happened again. Yeah. It's not even a premonition when you know it's going to happen. It's so weird, you know, going around the wasteland with trees and stuff that are, you know, alive. Even if they're stranglified. With like the orange strangler vines and stuff. It's so weird. I got so used to the DC wasteland because Fallout 3 was my first Fallout. I got so used to how bleak that was. And then New Vegas was largely desert, so finding the occasional plant was cool. Oasis in Fallout 3 was great. Jacob's Town in New Vegas was interesting. And then the 76, where there's this. There's somebody's camp there. But they have nothing.
It should look like a World War II, like, rubble pile of Stalingrad in a sense. It should just be grey, broken tarmac.
I mean, you haven't seen Fallout 3, have you?
Nah, sadly not, but...
I'm glad I caught that on screen, that was weird.
That's how I designed post-apocalypse, maybe put some grey fog, similar to how they did
again, it's like... I think a lot of it is like West Virginia wasn't directly hit. I think there's like two areas where it might have been hit, but nobody knows for certain. But like, a lot of the structures in Fallout have survived over 200 years. And a lot of those buildings, especially the skyscrapers, with the damage they've sustained, I don't think they should be standing at all. It's by some miracle that those structures haven't fell over and collapsed. Or by supernatural forces. Since Fallout does have that element of supernatural shenanigans going on, and an odd one right there.
I mean, you're not even loaded for me. Oh, wait, yeah.
Wait. We're able to re-engage with lead in a minute on that. That ain't going nowhere for quite a bit.
It's killing blood eagles, so it's fighting a good fight anyway.
Well, I've got to deal with the Wendigos and the ghouls in the rear. Don't want you to get jumped from behind when we're in the middle of fighting that thing.
It's just that highway that runs down the back of the map. I never go here.
Any particular
Spawn.
reason, or...?
Spawn chances are really fucking high, and you could get, like, swarmed by 50 cave crickets last time I came here.
I've not had that
50.
one in a while, to be honest. I've not ran any cave crickets here in a while.
It's usually down nearer to Bogtown. Not Bogtown.
Do you have a high luck rating?
It's usually down towards Bogtown.
Do you
No,
have a high
I don't
luck
have a high
rate?
luck at all. It's just, I'm telling you from experience, they usually spawn down near Bogtown and the Cranberry Bog more than they do anywhere else.
I was walking down this highway trying to trigger Gram spawn, and then 50.
Whenever I have a workshop, he shows up.
50 total. I counted them. Cave crickets, all glowing.
Pain. Bog crawler. Hello, you parkrod.
Their attack looks like they're trying to mount you.
Bestiality much?
No, it does. They lift their legs up as well, and it's like they're trying to jump on top of you. Like he's scary when they do that attack as well.
Trying to identify where those laser rounds were coming from. I never mind, found it.
Yeah, it's a quad, so this thing's practically a machine gun now.
I don't see the need for that, to be honest. With some guns, like the assault rifle that I'm holding, I can see the reasoning behind it because, you know, there's no decent sized mag for the damn thing.
I wanted a gun that has more rounds than the MG42 and less recoil.
Well, I mean, how many rounds does yours have?
600 now.
How does it have 600 rounds?
Well, it starts off with 150 with the cyclic capacitor, and then you times that by 4. It's 300, double 150.
Yeah, never mind.
If you put stabilizers on it, the recoil becomes negative and the gun starts dipping downwards, but only so slightly.
Well, I mean, they're going to be further nerfing the energy weapon recoil, from what I've heard. Get to the heretic! Love going Warhammer when I'm shooting these things.
This doesn't even have fractures on anymore. It's just making things explode because of the perk card.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I've been saying in the stream, this game's not as PvP heavy as groups like BWB would have people thinking.
Also, they're widely regarded as assholes by 90% of the rest of the community.
Well, it's not even just that, it's like, they're griefers, they blow up bases for little to no reason. They power armor stack like a bunch of no-skilled losers. And the few of them that don't get a bad rap because of the rest that do.
And the rest that
And
do...
I will say this again, on top of what? I made a crack at them earlier, and I'm doing it again. But on top of what? The club of people who don't go out and touch grass.
Types of people who want everything but get nothing. Because they don't realise that earning is the basis of control of supply. They play games like Rust, they play games like Red Dead, and they think, I can just steal this person's effort in an instant by killing him. Actually, Dad, if I ever play Rust, that is a toxic PvP game. Yeah, my mates are really protective of me when I play Rust, because I'm the guy who farms the materials. A whole ass army protecting my ass like a security detail. My inventory is just full with like bullet making supplies like coal and sulfur and metal.
Makes sense though. You're gonna obviously want to protect the supplier. This person was a member of the Free States. Their body is now glitched into the road. Instead of being on the road, they are now in the road. They are now the road. A lot of these roads are reinforced concrete. That's probably because of all the extremely heavy loads that trucks started to transport, and you know, the weight of nuclear engines and stuff. That's probably why a lot of that is the way that is now.
I thought it was tectonic shift myself.
Well, tectonic shift is why the road is messed up so much, you know, the liquefaction and everything in the ground. I still want this forest camo jumpsuit. Nobody said you had to go into the shopping centre, dude. You chose to go there. Nobody said it was safe. There is definitely a bias at Bethesda against people who play in third person, I'm telling you now. But there's also a lot of neat little things that you notice in third person that don't happen if you play in first. Like, for example, how my gun is in a relaxed stance. It doesn't do that if you're in first person. If you're in first person, your gun will always be raised.
They did that in Fallout 4, weirdly enough. Which isn't a multiplayer game where you got people watching you all the time.
See, if you hold somebody, your gun will always be up in first. But then if you wait
Raider over there
in third, your gun will eventually lower. See
That
like
raider over there is like a scout, right?
Where?
She's got binoculars and
Where?
a note saying like she's scouting.
They're dead. Never
Get
mind.
this, her weapon of choice for a scouting mission is a combat shotgun.
Nobody said that the actual raiders in game are smart. It's like I keep saying, player raider groups are smarter than the NPCs. The NPCs are just dumb as rocks. That's where the stereotype of stupid dumbass raider comes from.
At least the reign of moonshiners never got successful and blew themselves up instead. Otherwise we'd have moonshine grenades and God knows what they would.
China's always eventually will have a problem with it still. It's very, very rare that they don't. There's a giant permanent
Is it weird to say I'd want to pet one of those?
I mean, a
Probably.
giant hermit crab, why would you want an enormous one?
So each people that come to my camp should go to the shop.
I mean, that's not exactly ideal.
I love trap camps.
You shouldn't. Like, trap camps are another side of this community that's toxic as fuck. Pardon my language, but it really is. Like,
If traders weren't so toxic.
I mean, depends on
Trap
the trader.
campers
Out of personal experience, it depends on the trader. I have met several traders who are not jerks. Where did you come from?
Over there, I was just about to...
At my end and on the stream, it literally loaded in out of thin air. Bro came out of Narnia.
Is that other one still over there? Because it despawned from there, and then it was right behind us.
Mate, it exited the warp. Bro came out of the warp like it's a demon from the Eye of Terror. Bruh.
He teleported. I'm not
Yeah,
joking.
yeah, he went into the warp and came out behind me.
What's the warp?
Again. Get lost. Stop staring into the void, you might gain some sanity. And I'm back here again. And the floaters are back again. Not gonna lie, but crafting ammo that's not ultrasight drains a lot more resources for a lot less ammo. Maybe that's just me, maybe that's just my opinion, but like the numbers don't lie. Like, you do genuinely get more damage and more ammunition per craft. With ultrasight, the problem is the flux.
I'm convinced these floaters must be in pain.
Well, I mean, they're floating mutant flatworms, so I couldn't tell you. They were made pre-war, by the way, by Westech.
Oh, flatworms don't have nervous systems.
Can't feel poop, Captain.
They have one nerve in their entire body, and it's pretty much just a pleasure nerve for eating.
Holy poop. I've got 5 likes on this holy poop. I've actually done your little hashtag thing, by the way, this time around.
Yeah. How's your analytic going?
No idea. No idea on that one.
Just keep using it, and if more channels engage in it, with the same hashtag, you should theoretically be able to stack the tags until you get a topic. Theoretically, if you set up 50 YouTube bot accounts, all using the Brotherhood EASC thing, you could boost unanimously across the board.
Funnily enough, I just actually ran a search, and the stream has come up, even if you just put in BoS EASC. At least for me, it has.
I'll try
Seems
it.
like the top one, but like there are a few others that are doing it. They're on like Fortnite or something. I think that's just random feed though.
Well, you're in my recommended. WF.
Won't be surprised if I end up in my own recommended at this rate.
Oh, WEF caught faking data to make Brexit look bad.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it was actually good for us. Yeah, big surprise there. Big surprise that the World Economic Forum, that's rumoured to be behind all the illegal immigration, trying to hide the fact that Brexit was actually good for Britain. Yeah, it's totally not that the native people know best for their own native country. No, totally they don't.
Stop believing your eyes and look at the data that we drew up 5 minutes
This is what I was saying earlier, and I'll say it again. People don't like to look at the big picture. They don't like to see the wall with all the holes in it. They only want to see the mural that they've got painted on the wall. Why is that a thing? If you look at the stream, you're going to notice something on the T-51, right? If you look at the left arm on the T-51, there is now a red bar that appears on the T-51. Where the Brotherhood rank usually goes.
So if I put in Brotherhood EASC, I get blowing up BoS plant this morning, the biggest UK controlled explosion in 75 years.
Yeah, no, it's BoS EASC.
I know, but...
How long have I been live for? Let's see, because the game hasn't crashed.
So the game has not crashed in 2 hours and 1950 something, so it's... We've been live without the game crashing for over 2 hours, which is impressive. Given how unstable 76 usually is on the PlayStation platform.
I get the Exoplanet Atmospheric Survey CanSat.
I get my own stream. I get my own stream when I do it.
But you are in my recommended for my homepage feed. You're actually at the top.
Nice.
I wonder what happens if I open your feed on different browsers.
I'm gonna keep moving. No, that'll be on the broadcast settings. wrong button again. Go on there. Go on there, go on there. Shut down the activity. So while you're back there doing that, I'm gonna head down the road. Or head up the road, more accurately, because I'm heading north, and north always points up. Unless the poles flip, in which case north will point down, and we just need to reassign north and south.
Right, so here's the
But
thing
then
I've
magnetic
learned.
north will be down instead of up.
Here's the thing I've learned. Tabs don't function as watching while you're, what's the word?
It has to be open and playing.
Yeah, exactly. So, Windows, let's see what happens when we open 50 windows. Do you get 50 watches?
No idea.
Now my windows have closed.
That's annoying. But I have arrived at Harper's Ferry. Standard operational procedure: sweep the area for dangerous technological artifacts or dangerous artifacts like hallucinogenic gas from Hallucinogen Corp and the Hallucinogen Company. And basically, get rid of it, while systematically dealing with any and all abominations. Simple.
Scott.
Some of the enemies are glitching again. That's great. Gotta love 76, man. It would appear I'm being shot at. Be patient, I'll get to you in a second.
Right, so I have 3 tabs open right now, all currently playing. All overlaid like, you know, there's like, oh, what are they called again? The communication security room screens.
So it says, you said how many have you got open?
So 3 so far.
Yeah, that's actually registering as views. That's insane. Can't forget that I am viewing my own stream just to keep the tabs on the comments.
So I can just boost channels doing that. We'd need like a server with like Opera on, and
I mean,
then
the fact
like...
that you're saying this on a stream is pretty funny as well.
Hey, I'm a beta tester. I'm designed to find glitches. They can't do me for it. It's part of their own agreements. That's why I always join the beta test programs of any game or franchise that I'm in, because that means I'm not culpable for ULA violations.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean there.
It is a great workaround. And then I don't feed them the actual patches, I just give them to the fucking community like a...
Well, I mean, you do on the really serious stuff.
On stuff that makes the game not fun.
Like power armor stacking.
Exactly.
There's actually YouTube videos on that teach you how to do it.
If they were doing it for the raids, for the good of mankind...
No, they're not. They're doing it for PvP, and we both know that.
Exactly, but if they were...
Well, you don't need to stack power armor to do the raids anyway. I'm walking proof of that.
Won't risk my account anyway, it's too expensive. The number of microtransactions I bust into these things. Right, I'm gonna stand outside Vault 76 while I go AFK and smoke. I wish there was a wait, there is a chair outside Vault 76. I keep forgetting the park benches. I mean, technically that's a good thing, but you know how sometimes things can blend into the environment a bit too well? Like, it's supposed to be immersive, and I get it, but like, you forget it's there.
I think that mostly happens with like very specific things.
It's like, imagine you had a stone bench with the same stone texture as the stone floor on it with the same stone walls.
Yeah, then it blends, then it's camouflage.
I mean, I personally like a game like that with so much creativity. There was a game called Dreams PS4, which I really wanted to try out, but I have no fucking clue how to play it. But it is a game where you can create anything if you're smart enough to know how to do it. The problem is it's far more complicated than Roblox or Minecraft.
Well, it will be. Whereas Roblox and Minecraft are largely made for pretty much anybody to be able to play.
Yeah. Hello. Chatting to my mate on the thing.
Sometimes I just can't seem to hit the darn target. It's usually under very specific conditions that I can't hit the blooming target.
Been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very, very unforgiving game. You open one door and you get ganked by like 50 people. But it's like a risk and reward thing because the loot drops are so low for the armor pieces, and you are guaranteed any enemy you kill does drop their own armor set. So if you want like a Crusader set, you have to kill like 50 odd Crusaders to get it, for example. The problem is after 10 times, if you kill them, they stop respawning. So they just permanently appear off the map. There's a Crusader, there's a Covenant of Champions that you can join, where they always respawn infinitely. But then the drop rate lowers. So it's like picking posterity over luck. But,
yeah.
But also it makes the game harder because they raise the difficulty in the area if you do that. Apparently hoverflies, when they stop in front of your face, the way their eyes work, they have to like scan you to see you.
What?
The way that hoverflies stop in front of your face sometimes. They have to, like, because the way that eyes work with motion detection, they have to, like, physically scan you for 5 seconds before they realise you're an animal and not an object.
That's an evolutionary disadvantage right there.
Well, because they buzz so fast, their body is constantly vibrating, so they are always in motion. So I'd assume it looks like, well, like video in a sense, where they're just constantly taking a photo in a sense.
Again, not exactly the best way to see at all, is it, really, when you think?
I'd say for, like, detecting predators, yeah, but not for intuitiveness in our sense.
In Harper's Ferry, he's a stealth boy. Oh, just find some fusion cells.
Ammo is always dangerous.
In the hands of silly people, absolutely.
I'm surprised there aren't fusion core dirty bombs in this game. It's like some kind of mine trap you put down and then it like...
There are nuke mines. They're just really rare. I mean, you also got to think, like, most people would not know how to do that. How to jury rig that kind of thing together. Without, you know, detonating themselves.
Then there's the children of Atom that just slap it to a hammer.
Those crazies are annoying. They literally believe that destroying the world again is a good thing. Literally a religion of not people. Yet more proof that the Brotherhood of Steel should be allowed to take away dangerous stuff.
Yeah. The game's proposed it as a moral dilemma and tried to introduce supernatural elements into it, but at the end of the day, if it's like a dark god, which it is displayed as.
See, Atom is a misunderstanding. Because, you know, the failure of education following the end of the world by nukes led to people not understanding that Atom is the name of what is split when the bomb goes off, not the name of a deity. It's another example of stupid people.
There's that one woman who's clearly uneducated. She reads a science document and thinks we should worship nothing.
The Great Void.
How do you worship it? Do nothing. Be nothing.
I still can't find where the source of that, So there's an ambient in-game tune of the presidential march that plays around Harper's Ferry. And it's an ambient because it's there even with the in-game radio audio turned all the way off. So I don't know what the heck Bethesda was doing, but it's there.
Maybe it's a speaker like Nuka World.
No, because that wouldn't Mate, like, there's no speakers outside. It's one specific area, too.
Just 1v5 to super mutant ambush that spawned on my ass.
Sounds about right. I'm gonna end stream though in a few minutes because I wanna get something to drink, something to eat.
Would you play Dark Souls?
No.
Nah, it's not my kind of game, bro.
I have the innate English patriotism desire to.
All I'm gonna say to Prime is, I
have the innate British desire to become a noble knight.
I'm gonna call it here for this stream. I've had a good run. We've been live for almost 3 hours. So it's been a good one. I would stream longer, but again, I don't ever know with this game when it's going to crash. It's actually been quite lucky that it hasn't crashed in the 2 hours 38 that I've been live. So I'm gonna end this stream here.
Okay, so I found out that the radio is coming from this car.
That's not possible, though. What makes you so sure that it's coming from the car?
Because I walk around the car and I got surround sounds like speakers, so my earphones, and it gets louder as you.
Which car is it? The pickup truck.
This yellow one here.
Sounds more to me like it's coming from under the road.
I'd laugh if we just found the dev room because they left a radio on.
Somebody chat.
That would be absolutely hilarious.
It's definitely coming. It sounds like it's coming from the trunk, but then hang on. Definitely wasn't the car because it's still going.
It's like that.
Let's do it again over here. But it is definitely loudest near that car. Very weird, very weird, very weird, very weird.
We need to find the dev room, I swear, that's probably it.
Nah, we don't want to do that because we'll get insta-banned. I'm going to wrap up this stream now, though. I am going to terminate it after being live for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I haven't wrapped it up yet because we were literally just looking over something, but... To those who have tuned into the stream, thanks for dropping by. To everybody here who's viewed without commenting, you should really give that a try. You know, I do pay attention to the comments. Somewhat. But thank you for those who've left likes and commented. I appreciate the interaction. Until next time, folks, I am Viper97 Gaming. I will see you all later. And nobody feed the damn Yao Guai. Don't be Titus. Don't do that shit.